All right, let's do it. Hey. All right, welcome you two.
Thank
How's it
you.
going? First off, we're at the second episode of Basslines and Banter at Kinfolk 90. We have DJ Builda in the background music right now, and we have two fucking sick guests here right now. We have Neela and Sadé.
Hello.
What's up, y'all? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm like feeling like I'm getting in a groove a little bit, you know.
Us too.
So I'm getting good energy from both of you, so like I feel pretty good right now. So
Good.
nice. Let's start out by I guess just introducing both of you.
Okay.
Kind of. Firstly, who are you? Big question. I guess what are you guys doing, and what are you doing here in New York right now? Because you're not from New York
No, we're not.
at all.
At all.
So we'll start with that. What do
okay.
you guys do, and what are you doing here in New York?
All right. Should I start with me? Okay. My name is Neela, or Maha Neela, and I'm a photographer and a director and an artist manager and a DJ from London, and an event producer and a consultant. And I'm in New York because I was shooting a music video.
Nice. Oh yeah.
So I'm Sadé. I'm from Scotland,
Nice.
but I live in London. I've lived in London for like 8 years. And I am a product manager, a manager. I run some businesses with Neela and my other friends.
Be mysterious.
Too.
Mysterious.
We DJ, and just basically, I guess, an all-round creative person.
She's also a supermodel.
Oh, and I do model.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm in New York, obviously, with Neela.
Yeah.
We live together, so we're just like traveling. We went to LA.
Nice.
We came to New York. She was shooting a music video.
Sadé was in the music
Yes,
video.
I was in the
Fire.
music video.
Which is fire, yeah.
And then just, doing events and things together here. So yeah, just kind of like half holiday, half productivity.
Okay.
Bit of both, I think.
That's cool. So let's go back to this mysterious businesses that you guys do.
Okay.
We'll start with that because I think that's gonna be a good focus for this. What businesses do you guys do together?
So we run, we have two. So one is In Bloom, which is a creative agency that we both run with 6 of our friends.
Okay.
So there's 8 of us in total. And
yeah.
it's a women-led creative agency. And we basically create hopefully exciting, cool work for brands. And we work with artists, we create music videos, we do like campaigns, photography and video.
Okay.
And then we also have Cozy, which is like our sort of baby, which started as an online magazine and then became like an event series. And now we run events, we manage artists, we consult on different like music projects, and then we also DJ together as Cozy and throw parties.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Hell yeah. Any exciting projects kind of in the past? Any ones in particular that I guess what's on the resume? What do we have that
quite a lot of things.
people should know about?
Wow, how do we even begin? I guess like with In Bloom, we've done like a lot of campaigns. Like we've worked with Adidas and Nike and Converse, and at the moment we're working on a Converse campaign.
Oh, fire.
Doing like stills and stuff that are going to be in like all the stores, which is cool.
That's cool.
And then music-wise, so Sadé manages like an artist called Lil C, who's a DJ.
Hey.
Lil CC.
Nice.
Yeah, I think
Shout
she was
out.
here.
Yeah?
She was here earlier, or she's
hell
coming.
Yeah. Nice.
Right.
That's cool.
And then I also manage an artist. So we both manage artists. I manage an artist called Danae Moore.
Fuck. All right. Yeah.
So yeah, she's really dope.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
I know that video was really fire that you did.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I directed the video. And then we both, like Sadé was saying, we both have background in like labels, like within music. So I worked at Excel, and then Sadé worked at Sony and now Warner.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, that's kind of like, I guess, the resume. Like we're talking about artists, I guess it's like Sampha and Abeyi and the XX and people like that for me. And then for you, it's like Bryson
Taylor, a lot of UK artists as well.
Nice.
And yeah, it worked. Obviously, that's as well why it worked really well, because we did events together where we had like a mix of unsigned artists, signed artists.
Nice.
And it was really great to be able to like be in both worlds at the same time.
Yeah.
And I guess it's just like developed into a lot more than that, which is great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's something. As I was kind of, doing my research on you all, I've seen like you both kind of have balanced this, I guess, relationship between being in really established institutions like labels and what you're doing right now, where it seems like you're kind of working and trying to give access to a lot of people who might not have opportunities to that. What was your kind of experience? Like, how did you all find your place where you were, even like within these labels, and start there? Like, how did you end up there, and what was your experience like working at labels?
For me, it was really amazing. I was lucky and worked at an independent label like XL and Young Turks. So I worked with like incredible artists and had like a really dope amount of access to artists, which I think has sort of shaped a lot of the way of what I'm doing right now in terms of management and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was incredible. The way I got into it, working with XL, was just like so random, honestly. Like, I ended up I applied for a job, didn't get it, and then like a couple of months later they hit me up and they were like, we found something that we feel is right for you, kind of thing. So it was a big deal, and I was like the first black woman working at that label.
Oh shit, that's fire.
Which was like, a big kind of like thing, especially for something that was so like integral culturally for the music scene in the UK. So it felt like important to be there and to have that perspective. So I really enjoyed like working there and working with artists like Sampha and people like that. So yeah, it was really cool. And now like I'm freelance, kind of like spreading my wings.
Yeah.
And that's also a great experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, so I started, obviously I was not from London, and then I moved to London, and I actually, again, I was like, didn't come from a label background. I actually wanted to do events. So I was working at a lot of clubs and just like going to a million events. And then I was like, but I want to get a proper job, like a real job, like full-time job in music. So then I actually went through this scheme called Creative Access, which is like essentially a program to get ethnic minorities into the creative industries. So yeah, everything from like music to TV, and it was so interesting because out of all of them, music was the least. Like there was hardly any internships or anything to do with music. And then this one internship came up at Sony, a label called Relentless, which was like a label imprint within Sony. So I interned there for a year. And then once I was in, I was like, okay, well, this is a really great experience. So I did loads of different jobs there, stayed there for 3.5 years, and then I got offered a job at Warner. Again, a London label imprint that I was starting up. And I was like, it's just such an amazing opportunity to be able to work in these environments and like at 2 different labels because they're so different, and get like a different perspective on how they run, how they work. But yeah, I think for me, like, those jobs really helped in everything I'm doing now. Just gives you such an understanding of how the music business runs, how it works. It's a great way to meet people and just to really also figure out what you want to do. Because you learn so much about what these roles actually are when you're in them and when you're in that environment. But the other thing that I think why it's so important for us to have our own companies and do our own thing is because I know how hard it was for me. Like, I only got that internship because there was a program that was actively trying to get people like me into those places. So I think when I was coming in, I was like, I'm the only intern here, and there's, you know, so many young people that I know that are great and that could A&R, that could be in these positions, but don't know even how to get to this point. And so I think for us, it's like, if we know what that feels like, we understand, I guess, how to change and create opportunities for young people where they can learn in a different way. So I just think those structures, not everyone can go in and just figure it out. So I think it's important to have other outlets where you can still get the opportunity to work with Nike or Adidas or, you know, a label, but just not in a traditional way that I guess it normally works.
Beautiful.
But it was an amazing learning experience. Like that. could only have happened by being there every day and just understanding and learning from all the people that were around us. Like we've been so lucky to have like really great sort of mentors or people that we work with that have shown us like the actual side of the business that we probably wouldn't see otherwise. So
it's interesting because I like started a lot of like the stuff that Cozy essentially manifested into while I was working a full-time job like in advertising. Before I even like started working at Cozy and like made that a thing, I worked in advertising. I did like before that I was at university. I wanted to be a lawyer.
Oh, hey.
And like I'm still like obsessed. Like I'm obsessed with like crime and like
okay, I was gonna ask like music law or.
Oh no, like criminal law.
Oh shit, gritty stuff.
I think I'm a detective kind of. So like that was my vibe. I was like I'm gonna like crack cases and shit.
Word.
But then like I basically after like 2 years I did philosophy and I was gonna do a law conversion. And I was like I wanna work in something that I feel really passionate about and I don't wanna have to feel like I'm working, you know? And I feel like that was like a big change for me. I dropped out of university and then I started working in advertising because I saw that as like a viable way to like monetize like creative ideas.
Okay.
But during working there, I ended up like figuring out that music was what I wanted to do, and I just had no kind of access to things like something like creative access. What Sadé did is like so dope and it's so essential for people of color, especially in the music industry. But like it didn't really exist. So I basically like the only thing I could do that was kind of creative and in line with what I wanted was like an apprenticeship at an advertising agency. So I did that, but then at the same time I started this magazine and picked up everything I was getting from working at the agency and started like funneling it into my own kind of thing. And that's
so
the thing, it's like learning about how everything works and then like applying it to your own thing. So yeah.
So do you think, is it important, especially because both of you are trying to offer opportunities to younger people, is it important to kind of go through the traditional model and develop some of those skills that way? Or especially, I guess, just in general, like as you're finding people, what is your role like on like, you know, traditional models like labels and advertising agencies versus like finding agencies where other people who might be able to like fast track you a little bit as a recognized talent?
I feel like it's important to like, we're now in like an age where everybody has everything at their fingertips and it's like super amazing and dope, and it means that we can like create our own like institutions, and that's incredible, and bring together communities that otherwise would not be connected. But then at the same time it's like all of that involves a lot of like planning and like things that Wow.
So loud.
Very loud.
Literally sounded like it was in this room.
Literally. It's just like a full ass motorcycle ripping back.
Right? I feel like I definitely if I had just gone into it like I'm gonna start a magazine, but I never knew like any of the kind of things about like how that actually works, or like I want to manage an artist, or like I want to, you know, have some kind of thing. I think like I definitely learned a lot from those traditional methods, but it was really about like sort of flipping those on their head and like getting the best parts of those things and then funneling that into your own situation.
Oh yeah.
But everybody's different as well. Like I wouldn't say like do go to university, don't go to university. Like I just sort of went with what I felt, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one more kind of on that general point. You both do so much. You have a lot of ands in your like resume.
Yeah.
How do you approach something that's larger that you want to do and like start it? Because I feel like that's a lot of things where a lot of people are like, I have so many ideas. I see people like on Instagram or just in general doing so many things, and I have things I want to do, but I don't know how to start it, or I don't know how to approach something. Like, how are you going about doing all these things that you were doing even, you know? I know that's broad-ish, but like...
Do you want to answer this a bit?
I think it's about surrounding yourself by people that are, you know, trying to do creative things. And I think it's also just like talking. It sounds weird because obviously when you have ideas you talk about them, but actually like talking it through with someone, be like, this is my idea, this is what I want to do, and then basically like planning it in your head. Like everything comes from like you being like, okay, this is what I want to do. And like I think the word planning, like everyone's like, okay, but I don't know how to do it or I don't know what to do. But you have to try and start. So even if that's just writing stuff down and being like, this is what I want to do, how could I figure this out?
Yeah.
And then just having conversations with people, because actually like then someone will come and be like, oh, I actually already know how to do that, or like I can show you this, or I have a friend that knows how to do this, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think like, because that's the thing we say all the time, like people have great ideas all the time if they could follow that through. And I think it's about finding like a way where you can express yourself. And say for me, for example, like I'm not a photographer, but I have so many people that are photographers around me that it's like I can learn from them, but it's also like if I have a vision, I can create that without having to actually take the photo.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes people are like scared, they're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or I can't do that, so I won't be able to make a film.
I feel like, that's the biggest myth, is that like people forget that there is so like everything that we are seeing, that we're like getting from like the media and everything is a huge team like working behind all of this stuff. And like the kind of the mental state of like delegating and like letting go of creative ideas and giving them to other people, I think is something that people are really afraid of, and they feel like they have to do everything by themselves.
Yes.
And for us, like within Bloom, that it was really about creating a community. Like we're all like really young, none of us are like, we're all under 30, young women, literally starting something, and we're doing Converse campaigns, and it's like we can only do that because there's 6 of us.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, there's 8 of us, because there's 8 of us, and we're like together. Like, okay, we're actually gonna like, I'm gonna utilize this skill that I have, and you're gonna utilize this skill that you have, and together we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And I think like even with Cozy, when like I first started it, before I even met Sadé, that's like how Sadé got involved in that. It's like recognizing, wow, you do events, that's so sick. Like that's what I want to do, but I don't know how to do that. And then bringing somebody else into that process. And I feel like, community is like definitely a huge drive in terms of like anything creative that you want to do. I think fostering like genuine relationships and then building community, like that's how we wouldn't be doing what we're doing if we didn't have other people like lifting us up to do it, you know?
Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. So I want to bring it back to New York a little bit. We're in New York.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I want to bring it back to New York a little bit.
Okay,
We're in New York.
yeah.
But I kind of want to touch on what you were just saying, and I'm curious of what have you found, even like, because you both have been here often.
Yeah.
Coming over here on like work as well as just like hanging out. And living in London, what is kind of the landscape for like, I guess, people of color in terms of creatives in London that you're finding versus New York even?
Interesting.
Just in general, because you're like, one thing that I've noticed with the companies that you all are doing, you're super open and very transparent about trying to uplift Black creatives.
Hell yeah.
Just people of color in general.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious of what you're seeing, what it's like over there outside of even just specifically what you're involved with, what you think's like, I guess, what could be better, or what it was, and like even in New York in general from being here.
I have like, so I'm part of a collective called POC, which is actually stands for people of color.
Hey.
And it's basically a collective. There's actually some of the people from POC are here. Caleb Femi and Iggy London are both here, who are like both incredible directors and like poets and just incredible. And basically that's essentially a digital collective of people from all over the world. So POC are doing a screening in Canada at the moment, and like it's a collective of people of color working within the film and music industry. And I think there are a lot of things like that, especially right now we're here and it's Afropunk weekend. There are a lot of like really dope collectives out in New York, and also ones from London that have come over here. So for example, earlier today, before this, we were just at a shoot for Gqom magazine, and they only specifically work with women of color or non-binary people of color.
Oh yeah.
So like there are a lot of things that we kind of like work with, and other collectives that we collaborate with that their focus is that. And I think for both of us coming from like traditional like places, our very presence has been like something that drives that. And I think it's really important to me anyway, definitely important to both of us. We like always try and keep that in mind. Even like I just shot a music video and I wanted like women and people of color, and I just think people are more open now and accepting and just, I guess, awake to the fact that there needs to be a major shift.
Yeah.
So, you know, there are a lot of places that kind of exclusively work with and try and uplift people from that demographic, and that's like a lot of the things that we're involved with in New York and in London. So
Oh yeah.
it seems like globally that's really like a big
Kind of like a bit of
initiative, you know?
Yeah.
And it's so important.
Oh yeah.
You know, and we're all like, even though we're all from all over the world, we're actually like a really small group of people. All of the people that get to even travel and like go to different places, and the fact that we're all connected over the internet and have these similar kind of like points of reference and like things that we like music-wise, you know, art-wise, I think like it's so important for us to like support each other and like go to people's things. And if we're in this city or that city, because it's like a global community, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Cool. I'm gonna do another New York question, just to kind of tie this podcast together. Have you found any restaurants or anything in particular that you like in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the
all right.
restaurant we went to?
Where are we
So
going?
many. Palma.
Yeah, that's
Palma.
it.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Palma. Where is it? It's on Cornelia Street in the East
Okay.
Village.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, East Village.
Yeah, that's it.
So what's the vibe? What's the food? What are we eating? What did you both get?
Italian. It was like
Italian.
pasta, but really, really good. Also,
Okay.
the bagels
I'm
here are
thinking
really
about
good.
it right now. I'm like, oh,
I went to Bagel World and had a great bagel.
hell
What
yeah.
else?
Get any good like shawarma by y'all here? Any good
what?
like any like London staples that you're finding that are good in New York?
London's. I mean, I've been trying to find tea.
She's been looking for a good cup of tea for like
Yeah.
fucking like
Yeah.
You got PG tips somewhere around here.
I haven't seen any.
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
All I can see is American tea. I'm like, what is this? It's American
That'll
black
be
tea.
like American breakfast tea.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell is that?
It's not the
Very,
same.
You
very
mean
specific.
English breakfast tea, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
But what else? No, I'm
No,
enjoying
but
it.
food-wise, yo.
I mean, do you know what?
Good. I was-
In LA when we
These aren't
went there.
really good. I was gonna bring up tacos. I'm a big taco
That's
person.
what I was gonna say. Yeah.
The fact that you can get a taco and like
Yeah.
or a bagel in like most bodegas here,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
incredible to me.
That's really
It's
great.
like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
But yeah, we've had some really good food.
Yeah, we've been eating well.
Very well.
Yeah.
New
Oh,
York
yeah.
is like the best, and also just pizza slices like on every corner.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my
Always
god,
down.
but I
You
still
go to like Two Bros, some of the dollar slice places.
Huh?
Yeah.
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 I want a sweet
I like
potato
not
pie.
raised. You know not raised.
What's
Yeah.
that?
It's in it's in
I don't know if I-
it's on
where's
like
that?
Fulton Street near the
Oh,
Barclays
yeah.
Center though.
Oh, okay. All
And
right,
it's
wait.
so good.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite spot.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But I
don't think
feel
I've
like
been
there are 1,000 in New York.
Yeah, there's
I'm
so
like,
much.
To me, if you want a good like pizza or like a test, you have just to get a dollar slice. It's like the like cardboard with the cheese on it.
$1, yeah.
And like,
Sade's been, you've been on the hunt as well for, you know, like in those dollar pizza places, you can get sweet potato pie as well.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Get like a really small.
Yeah.
I haven't had one since I've
Haven't
been
had
here
one.
yet.
Yeah,
But I
there's-
want to get one.
oh.
Oh my
Last
god,
time we
we're
stayed
leaving
here,
tomorrow.
I know. The last time we stayed here, we were in East New York.
Okay.
We were like out there.
Yeah.
And we were like sweet potato pie
Yeah.
every day.
So good.
Facts. Facts.
So
Sweet
good.
potato pie and a dollar slice of pizza.
Yes.
I'm here for it.
Economical
Yeah.
versus the rent here for sure.
Exactly.
That's good. Hell yeah. That's cool. Let's see. So you all were in LA as well recently.
Yeah.
It's kind of the vibe over there versus here for you.
Okay.
In short, though, we don't want to talk about LA too much.
Yeah.
It's so different.
Yeah.
I like New York way more.
Oh yeah.
I
Hell
think I just can't compare them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Because
very
like,
different.
like even the everything's different. The weather,
Yeah.
the people, the places. I'm like, to me, like New York and London to me are similar. Where I could be like, oh,
Yeah, that's
but
why I
LA
love
is such a
being
different
here.
vibe. Like I would always want to do both.
Yeah,
'cause
for sure.
It's like you have two completely different experiences when you go to each, which I think is cool.
Yeah. A lot of, what do you got? 5 minutes? 6 minutes? All right, cool. All right, let's see. Oh, shit. Oh. No, we've actually hit a lot of what I have wanted to talk about. I guess one thing that I was curious of, both being, you know, just like black women growing up different to like my experience in America, I was curious, what do you think, or were there any particular experiences, just in general, that have helped shape your critical lens that you bring to your creative work right now? Or like even just from experience, you know?
Okay.
Yeah,
Who wants to go? You or me?
you go then.
No, both together.
All right, same time, let's go.
Not at the same time. Thing things that have, I guess, like growing up in, even though like obviously we're still a minority here in the US, I think that like being from such a small country like London, being in America feels like incredible to just see so many people of color, because it's really not like, it's not the same.
Interesting.
Especially in New York, like obviously there's different places in the States, but like New York specifically, this level of like diversity and just seeing people from all over is really, really amazing. And I think like that has definitely, growing up in a space that's predominantly white, has really shaped the fact that now as an adult and as an artist, I really want to be in spaces that are not. So that's definitely like a big thing for me. Like right now I'm trying to get out of London.
Oh yeah?
I'm like, I don't want to stay there anymore.
Where are you trying to go?
I don't know yet. I think it's between New York and LA.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, no. None of those places. Just out of the UK in general. I just want to be around my people, and I feel like my people are like across the diaspora, and I'm just trying to like travel throughout. And I think New York is a really hot spot for that too, and it's really like an amazing place. You meet so many people from so many different places here, and that's what I really love. It reminds me of London in a lot of ways. But also I just feel like we as like the POC creative crew, there are more of us, you know?
Word. Hell yeah.
So that's really dope to be around it.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So the question is, what is it like being a woman or growing up?
I guess, is there anything in particular that you felt shaped your critical lens? That's
yes,
just
okay.
In general.
Yeah.
You doesn't need to draw from that.
Yeah, definitely. I guess like I grew up, my dad is white, my mum is black.
Okay, all right.
So I grew up in like London, Dominica and Scotland, and then I moved back to London.
All right.
And I think it was always really interesting growing up, like I guess being in completely different cultures, where I'm like, obviously I'm half of both, but the perceptions or the way that people see me is completely different in these sets of groups. But then I guess also like what I wanted to do, I'm like, you know, I want everywhere to be diverse, so it's like you see a mix of different people and you're not just seeing one type of person. And I guess as I got older, being in certain environments where I'm like, you know, especially in music, I guess, because black music is very popular, and that's something that, you know, is constantly being worked on. So like the product, the music, the culture, the fashion, where I'm like, there should be more people, I guess, who have an understanding or come from that background. Because again, it's like there's things where I'm sitting there and I'm like, just because I'm a person of color, that doesn't mean I'm going to understand every experience, and there needs to be a range of different types of people for us to get the best out of all of the stuff we're working on. So I think for me it's about like people, and actually getting people that are good, like getting people that are from different backgrounds, because it's like being able to, I guess, live in different countries. I learned so much by being around different types of people, not just by race, but by everything. Like being in Dominica, where you're living in like a country that is completely different from the Western world, where, you know, understanding that culture and how those people live then gives me an insight into like who I am and where my family come from. So I feel like everything as a creative feeds into, you know, who you are. Because you're reflecting from your inside. So I think it's so important for everyone to be given the opportunity to express that, regardless of like, you know, where you come from, who you are, what you do, and what you're interested in, because people perceive things in different ways as well. So it's like you should be able to let that out and it not be, you know, held against you or looked at in a certain way, I think. But I think it's like, that's why, you know, as I get older and we set up these companies, I'm like, it's great because we can, once we are able to build something to a certain level, we can do those things, which I think are only going to be beneficial to everyone in the long term.
Well, but let's keep building.
Yes, 100%.
Doing that all together as a community.
Exactly.
Well, I think we're running a little bit over, and that is what it is. So we have two things. I'm gonna give you. We're starting a thing. We're giving a gift from a different New York 99-cent store / bodega every time.
Oh my God, yes.
So I'm gonna give you this, and I'm also gonna ask the final question.
Okay.
I feel like it's gonna be a really hard question because we're getting a present.
The final question is gonna be, or I guess let's look at this first. So I got these cute little night lights from this. It's from a 99-cent store.
Amazing.
over in Greenpoint on like
Thank
Manhattan
you.
and Norman.
Wow, thank you so much.
Whopping $1.49.
Thank you for the
Because you both are
$1.49.
shining.
You spent more than $1. That 49
was a pretty
cents.
good one.
That 49 cents though.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you,
on
I
me, on me
appreciate
then.
that.
This will be quite cute, my room.
I'm very excited.
I'm trying to tie it all in, and I was like, you both are illuminating a lot on the music scene and creative scene, and so there are your nightlights.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So final question, very quickly, just because we want to start to understand and like make this be kind of a community-driven thing. Who else do you think we should have on here? Just in general. Yeah.
From New York or from all over or both?
General,
Anywhere.
yeah.
Okay. Oh my God.
Wow, that's a good,
question.
question.
There are so many people. There are so many people. Okay. I feel like in New York, I feel like you should definitely speak to our friend Matthew.
Okay.
Matthew
all right.
Bentley.
Yeah,
He's
Matthew's a
an
homie.
incredible photographer and also an incredible DJ.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely been
Nice.
like
Fuck
one
yeah.
of the
Yeah.
people,
Shouts
I
out to
would
World's
say.
Fair too.
Yeah, shout out to
Yeah,
World's
yeah.
Fair. And then internationally, wow, like there's so many people, yo. I don't know. I think just check out who we're following on Instagram.
All right, yeah, we'll run through the
That is
list.
the best answer ever. Yeah.
Truth.
I agree with that answer.
That's it?
Yeah.
Everyone is great that
Oh,
we
yeah.
follow.
Cool. Well, thank you both so much for coming here and hanging out.
Thanks for having
This
us.
is really lovely.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really
And
nice.
so we're looking forward, just all of us, to seeing what you're going to continue to do and doing, and checking in with you soon. So thank you.
We will.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, and that's a wrap. Hey.